Hello! So the last couple of activities we've done, we've looked at the invertebrates in our garden, particularly those that we can find on the ground and in the leaf litter. But just as important are our flying invertebrates, which are mainly our insects, and in particular our pollinating insects that do a really important job in our gardens and in our farmlands. So we're going to spend a couple of activities thinking about our pollinators, our bees and our wasps. So actually in the UK we have about 270 different species of bee, and mostly people think of bees as being the sort of bumblebee that lives in a big nest or in a beehive and makes honey, but in fact just under 250 of our bee species in our country are actually solitary bees. They live on their own. They do not live in a nest with other bees and they do not make honey. And some of those bees actually burrow underground, which is why at this time of year sometimes you see really big bees, often on lawns or on grassy areas close to the ground, and those are the ones that have probably just come out of hibernation. And some solitary bees like to build their nests, like to nest in the air, in spaces in trees and little holes. And those are the sorts of bees that can really benefit from us making little nesting places for them. So today I'm going to show you how to make a type of bee hotel for some solitary bees that live on their own. So I've made one here. Now the good thing about this bee hotel is that it is completely compostable. So after it's finished being used, if it gets wet, if it gets caught in the rain or something, you can just compost the whole thing apart from the pipe cleaner bit, which you'd need to take off. And it's made from cardboard roll, either a kitchen roll or the inside of a toilet roll. I've got a little bit of string to make the hanger. I used some tissue paper to make the wings and just a pipe cleaner to make the antennae. So I'm going to show you how to make your own solitary bee hotel now. So the first thing I've done is I've taken my cardboard tube and I've just painted it black and yellow stripes just to make it look a little bit more like a bee. And then we'll need to make a sort of bottom to it so that our nesting materials don't fall out. So for this, what I did was I just drew around one end of my cardboard roll on some paper, and then I'm going to cut out a bigger circle. So I'm just going to draw around it again, but bigger. Then I'm going to cut that out, and this is going to form the bottom of our bee hotel so that all of the nesting materials are kept inside. So I cut round that like so, and then I'm just going to make a series of little cuts from the outside to that line where I drew around the end of my cardboard roll, so that I make a series of flaps that can fold up, and I can then glue this onto the base of my cardboard roll. So those little bits will fold up like so. If I just fold them beforehand so that they're ready, they fold up like that. And then what I do is one end of my cardboard roll, I just go around the bottom of it with some glue. You can use PVA glue or glue stick, doesn't really matter. I'm going to make it all gluey around the end like that. And then I can stick on my base. So I'm just going to push those flaps up so that they stick on to the end of my cardboard roll. I just push them all down. And that makes the bottom. That stops all of the nesting material that I'm going to use from falling through and out the other side. So that's the base. Then what I did was I wanted to have some wings to make it look a bit more like a bee. So I actually cut out of tissue paper a wing shape. Now I use tissue paper because I think it looks really pretty when it blows in the wind, but you can use anything you like. If you've got coloured card, you could use that, or if you've just got some plain paper, you can use that and draw a pretty pattern on it. Anything that you like, really. You can be really creative with this bit, make some lovely wings. So what I did was I put a bit of glue in the middle and I just stuck down my wings onto the middle of the body. So now I've got a base here and my lovely wings which will flap in the wind. Then to make it look a bit more bee-like, I wanted to give it some antennae. So I got a pipe cleaner. So this is the only bit of our bee hotel that isn't compostable. So when you've finished with this and you want to throw it away, you will need to make sure that you take the pipe cleaner off and put that in your normal bin. And you might need to get an adult to help you with this because this is a little bit fiddly, this part. What I did was I just about managed to staple my pipe cleaner to the inside of my cardboard roll, so it is a little bit fiddly. So you, like I said, you might want to get a grown-up just to help you with this bit. This is quite awkward. Let me see if I've got that in the right place. Turn it around a bit. There we go. There, just about managed to do it. So there are my antennae, and I'm just going to bend them up a little bit. Bend them out a bit like that. There we go. So there's my bee. Now, in order to be able to hang it somewhere, on this one, what I did was I made 2 holes on either side, and I've just threaded a piece of string through. So I will do that to this one as well. So again, you might need to get a grown-up to help you. You can either use a sharp pencil to make a hole. I'm just going to push it down through where I've got space in the table underneath. So you need a hole on either side. So get a grown-up to help you with that. So there are my holes. And then I will need a piece of string. So I've just got some garden string here. I'm going to thread my string through one hole that way and through the other hole that way. Oh, if it will come out. Sometimes it's a little bit fiddly trying to get the string through the hole. Just need to make my hole a little bit bigger. Then I can thread my string through the hole like that. There we go. And then just tie them together at the top. And that will make a nice hanger, so I'll be able to hang that outside somewhere in my garden. So the last thing to do then is we need to fill up the inside with materials that will encourage one of our native solitary bees to go in there and sleep for the night. So I have got things like some little bits of dry moss, so I might put a little bit of that in, and then I've got lots of just small bits of stick. Now I don't want to pack it too tightly because obviously I need to leave space for the bee to be able to get in. So I'm just going to put a few little bits in there just so that any bee that goes in there feels nice and safe and cosy, but so that I've also left room for them to get in. And because I put that piece of paper across the bottom, if I want to hang this up somewhere, my nesting materials aren't all going to fall out. So I might put a few more bits of moss in there and maybe one more little stick. So anything that you can find that you think bees would like to nest in, leaves, little sticks, moss, feathers even, anything nice and soft. So there we go, that is my finished bee hotel. And what I'm going to do in a minute is find somewhere in my garden to hang it up. So here are my 2 bee hotels. I'm going to put them somewhere in my garden. I'm going to choose quite a sunny space because I think that might help to attract the bees, and I'll pop a photograph of it up on the Facebook page so that you can have a look and see where I've put them. So that will hopefully help to encourage some of our pollinating insects to come and spend the night in my garden, and next time I'm going to think about what I can do to help feed them whilst they're here. So hopefully see you then. Bye.